Hello, I'm here also to facilitate another interesting topic with you, which is quadratic equation. How do we solve quadratic equation using factorization method? At the end of this lesson, learners should be able to solve a quadratic equation using factorization method. So what that means is it is expected that you watch this video to the end so that you'll be able to achieve this stated objective. That is, you'll be able to solve quadratic equation using factorization method. My name is Abdullah Opoyemi Falade. I'm a mathematics instructor. I'll be taking you through the journey of how to solve quadratic equation. I have more than 13 years teaching experience. I tutor mathematics for more than 13 years and science subjects. So I'm happy to share my knowledge, my experience with you, and that's why I've created this YouTube channel for you to learn more mathematics. That's the future of the artificial intelligence revolution. So let's move on. Before we delve into the journey of quadratic, we need to know what quadratic equation is all about. Quadratic equation is an equation of this form. An equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And the x is the unknown variable, where a, b, c, they are known numbers and they are meant to be constant. And mind you, your a has to be non-zero, so a should not be 0. So if a is 0, you have a linear equation. So any equation that looks in this form, having these terms, the quad terms, the middle terms, and the constant terms, these are the quadratic equations, and there must be an existence of equality. So if I only have ax squared plus bx plus c without equals to 0, it means I'm having a quadratic expression. So we get the difference now. So we have quadratic equation, we have quadratic expression. So if we don't have equality and this 0, only what we have at the left hand side is quadratic expression. But the complete form, wherever we have equality and 0, that is called quadratic equation. Okay, so another point you need to know that whenever you solve for x, which is the unknown variable, it is called the solutions of the equation, and the roots or the zeros of the expression on its left hand side. Another thing you have to know about quadratic equation is you can only have at most 2 solutions in quadratic equation, at most 2 solutions. And this solution could be a real solution, it could be a complex solution. So if there is no real solution, there's possibility of 2 complex solutions. And in a case whereby you have only 1 solution, it means it is a double root. Okay, so let's look at an example. Let's look at examples. Like I've said in this video, in this lesson, we focus on solving quadratic equation using factorization method. So the first example, solve x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0 using factorization. So how do you solve this? Step 1, you have to multiply the constant term by the quad term. So the constant term is plus 2, the quad term is 1x squared. So you know that x squared is the same as 1x squared. So what do we have? So we have plus 2x squared minus 3x. So at this point you have to reason. So factorization method requires a kind of reasoning. You have to reason, you have to think critically on 2 expressions, 2 algebraic expressions that when you multiply, it gives plus 2x squared. And when you add, it gives minus 3x. So you have to think about that. So after we've been able to, after ponderation, after several reasoning, we're able to come up with 2 algebraic expression, which is minus 2x minus x. So when you have minus 2x minus x and you add it together, you have minus 3x. And at the same time, when you multiply, so minus 2x times minus x, you have plus 2x squared. So plus 2x squared. So you have x squared minus 2x minus x plus 2 equals 0. So by the time you factorize, so in factorizing in quadratic equation, it is expected that you have a variable taken out of here where you have x open bracket x minus 2, and here you have a number, so that is where we have minus 1 open bracket x minus 2 close bracket equals 0. So make sure what you have here and what you have here are the same. So if it is not the same, there's problem solved. You have to do a quality check and go through your workings before this step, so that you're able to correct yourself where necessary. So having done that, you take out one of these x minus 2 in brackets, and you take out the x minus 1 as well, and you equate this to 0. You also equate this to 0. That's x minus 1 equals 0, or x minus 2 equals 0, and you have x equals to 1 or x equals to 2. So hence we conclude that the solutions to the quadratic equation is x equals 1 or 2. Simple. Example 2. Factorize completely and solve 3y squared minus y minus 4 equals 0. How do we solve this? How do we factorize this? So this is another way of saying to use factorization method to solve, because the first task is for you to factorize completely, and the second task is to go after what you have factorized and get the solution to the quadratic equation. So the first step, just as we explained in the previous example, is to multiply the constant term by the quad term. So the constant term is minus 4 and the quad term is 3y squared. So by the time you do that, you have minus 12y squared minus y. Okay, so you can see that here. So having done that, the next step is to factorize. Think of two numbers that when you multiply, it gives minus 12y squared, and when you add, it gives minus y. And after critical reasoning, we're able to come up with those two expressions, which is plus 3y minus 4y. And from there, we have what we have here, which is 3y open bracket y plus 1 close the bracket minus 4 open bracket y plus 1 close the bracket equals 0. So we try to take out 3y here, and here we take out minus 4. This is y plus 4. When you open this bracket, you have this. Okay, and by that time you can take out one of these in bracket, which is y plus 1, and this is 3y minus 4. So 3y minus 4 in bracket, you take one of these, and that's why they have to be the same. So y plus 1 in bracket. So when you equate this to 0, you get your y to be equals to 4 over 3, and or y equals to minus 1. Boom. So that's the solution to the quadratic equation, 3y squared minus y minus 4 equals 0. So the solution is 4 over 3 or minus 1. Interesting. So this is how to solve quadratic equation. Let's look at a case whereby you have no middle term. So what if you don't have a middle term? So look at this example 3. Factorize and solve. 9p squared minus 4 equals 0. So this will tell you that you can have any variable to be unknown. It could be x, it could be y, it could be p, it could be a, it could be c, it could be any of the lowercase English alphabet. Okay, so since the middle term is missing, the appropriate approach in this sense is to use difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. So how do you go about that? So you can express this 9p squared as 3p open bracket square, and 4 also can be expressed as 2 squares. So this makes it easier for you to get out the difference of 2 squares. So you can factorize using the difference of 2 squares. That makes you 3p minus 2 close the bracket 3p plus 2 equals 0. And by the time you equate this to 0 and this to 0, you have p to be 2 over 3 or minus 2 over 3. Simple. So that's all. So far we have been able to see how to factorize quadratic equation and solve. So exercise, do it yourself, DIY. Solve the following quadratic equation using factorization method. We have 1 to 5 for u, y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals 0, p squared minus 6p minus 5 equals 0, 3x squared plus 4x minus 7 equals 0, 27y squared minus 6y minus 3 equals 0, 2z squared minus 7z minus 9 equals 0. So that's all. So if you're watching this video for the first time, please press like, share and subscribe for the next video. Thanks for watching and bye for now.